Hi, Church. Tavi here. Um, Needless to say, these are unusual times for us as a church, for us as a world. And it's so easy to look at the current circumstances and be somewhat discouraged, experience a sense of loss. And I think the loss is real, the fact that we cannot meet together and fellowship and gather together in prayer and around the Word. Um, but I think the current situation is presenting us, the church, with some really exciting new opportunities. I think we ought to redeem every opportunity that the Lord has given us to promote the mission of Jesus. Our mission as a church is to be disciples of Jesus Christ who make disciples who will make other disciples. And I think, regardless of the circumstances, that mission never becomes defunct. It continues to give meaning to our existence as a church. And I think during times like this, we have a unique opportunity to step into some spaces that we wouldn't otherwise do so. In fact, I was thinking that on a regular Sunday, we have maybe 300 people listen to the message and participate in the corporate singing. But even this last Sunday, the fact that we were able to broadcast Eric's sermon via live stream on Facebook and YouTube, we had altogether over 1,000 views, which presented an amazing opportunity to uh, promote and to send out the message of the gospel. These are incredibly exciting times, and in the midst of the loss and the fear and the uncertainty, I think there are tremendous opportunities for the church to be the church. I saw this little picture on the social media that says the church has left the building. In a very real sense, we have left the building, but we do not stop being the church. So I wanted to give you a brief exhortation. It's an exhortation to continue to make disciples who will make other disciples. I realized that in the last 3 weeks, a lot of the foundations of our American society really have been demolished very quickly. The fact that the Dow Jones went down over 30% in 3 weeks is staggering. Um, a lot of the things that gave meaning to us and we took pride in have been kind of taken away from us as a society. Think about financial security, think about entertainment, think about wealth, uh, personal freedom, think about social relationships and interaction. All those have been limited and have been threatened. And I think people are wondering, why is this happening? Um, for me, when I think about how much energy we expend on all those things that have been so easily taken away from us, it's almost comical. Not that the suffering produced by this virus is comical in any sense. The suffering is real, the pain is real, the fear is real, but the lack of balance in our own lives is a little bit ironic. And I think as people around us realize that these foundations for their lives are being threatened, they become very open. And I think this presents a great opportunity for us to apply gospel fluency to their specific situations as we apply gospel fluencies to our specific situations of fear, of doubt, of questioning. Um, so I want to encourage you to do something specific, something that's pretty small, but it will encourage you to step into this cyber world, into this virtual world of connectivity. As we practice physical social distancing, doesn't mean that we need to be disconnected from others. So this past week, I reached out to all my neighbors. I think I sent out about 12 texts just asking people, how are you doing? How is your family? Are you healthy? Do you have enough supplies? How can I be of help to you? And how can I be praying for you? And in the past, a lot of these texts would be met with a quick reply, we're fine. But this time, everybody started to engage in conversation. Even people that normally would not respond to the text started to actually write back. I saw some neighbors walking down the street, and 6 feet apart from each other, we engaged in conversations on some of these things that seem like strong foundations for our society that are no foundations at all. It seems to me that people are open right now, that there is a tenderness, there is a sense of questioning that really prepares them to receive the gospel and the hope that is found in Jesus alone. Somebody said, Tavi, isn't that exploiting the situation for your own purposes? I want to set you at rest. This is not exploiting anything. It is giving real answers to a world that's absolutely in need of real answers. And it's pointing people away from the things of this world to Jesus Christ, who's our ultimate treasure, who's our eternal hope. This is applying gospel fluency to the specific situation of our world right now. And I want to encourage you to reach out to three to five neighbors, relatives, family members who are not yet believers. And just reach out with compassion. Ask that the Lord would help you to become an instrument of grace in His hands. Reach out to them and say, how are you doing? How is your family? How can I be praying for you? Do you have any specific needs that I could help you with? And engage them and administer grace to them and care and engage them in conversation, whether it's through a text or an email or Facebook or Instagram, whatever means of communication, or a phone call, whatever it is. Do it, and let's see how the Lord will help us to redeem this situation and actually continue to be the church and be engaged in the making of disciples and promoting the mission of Jesus during times like this. I am excited about times of disruption like this, not because of the disruption itself, which is painful, but because of the gospel opportunities that they represent. And so I encourage you to do this. Take this next week. Ask that the Lord will lay on your heart who you should engage, with, and reach out to them in compassion and care. And I think as people start seeing the good works of God's children, they will glorify the Heavenly Father who is in heaven. I encourage you to do this. Next week I'll have another brief message and a brief exhortation, something tangible and specific that we could do together as a church. In the meantime, may God bless you all richly. May you find security and comfort in Jesus Christ. And I look forward to seeing us all together again in worship soon.